Hi, this is Joel Hitchcock, and I want to tell you about an amazing book written by my uncle, John Hitchcock. Dr. John Hitchcock is an evangelist, a pastor, a hunter, a globetrotter, been all around the world for the gospel and all around the world scuba diving, hunting, seeing the beautiful things of this world and being out in the outback. This book is called The Story of My Life, Living on the Edge Beside God. You know those words, living on the edge beside God? That title really describes John Hitchcock's life. It describes what the book's about, how he lived on the edge in the face of danger. And sometimes, as he explained to me, it seemed like he could have fallen this way and died, fallen that way and lived. And every single time he fell onto the side of life. But he flew airplanes. He was in storms that just suddenly came out of nowhere in the old days. And his plane was just flung all around the place. Thunderstorms up several thousand feet and down in just a few seconds. And yet he made it. Sometimes he did not even know where to find water when he was out in the outback of Africa. But in prayer, God showed him where to go dig. And he went and dug there and found water and so forth. There are just so many wonderful stories when you listen to this and read this book, Living on the Edge Beside God. You see, if you take Crocodile Dundee, you take an evangelist and you mix them together, well, there you have it, Dr. John Hitchcock, a man who loves God, preaches the gospel. And, you know, Uncle John, he was a stutterer. When he was 3 years old, he was stricken with meningitis, which left him with a stammer that is worse than anybody had ever met. Perhaps one person that he says he was just like that person, and I heard him. It was really bad. Well, you know, you could never be a preacher because you need to be able to speak to be a preacher. But by the power of the Holy Spirit, he was able to preach. He went out by faith on the streets. He has also been an outreach evangelist. He went out on the streets and preached to the souls on the streets. He said his first message was, "Cleanse your hands, O ye sinners." And he was fluent when the Holy Spirit came upon him. and hundreds of people were led to the Lord on the streets, or at least impacted. You know, sometimes he preached to a few, sometimes there were traffic jams. He's also had his crusades. Sometimes there was a few in a little outback area, and other times there were literally thousands of people out there in the stadium and so forth. You know, my brothers and sisters, I believe that you will be blessed by this book, Living on the Edge Beside God by John Hitchcock. If you have a family member, especially a father or a son or a husband that really likes the outdoors and likes to hear about these nerve-wracking type of stories, this will keep you they will not be able to put the book down. They will have to finish it but then at the same time, you also read about God's grace and mercy. You'll also read about how Uncle John went into some really difficult times in life, but the Lord brought him through. What an amazing story. Get the book. You can go to johnhitchcock.us, johnhitchcock.us, or johnhitchcockministries.blogspot.com. God bless you.